John was a successful millionaire who had everything he could possibly want: a beautiful wife, a luxurious mansion, and a son he was incredibly proud of. He had worked hard to achieve his success, and he was grateful for all that he had. But John's world was turned upside down when he received a phone call from his son's school. His son had been caught skipping class, and the school had discovered that he had been going to an abandoned house on the outskirts of town. Concerned for his son's safety, John decided to investigate. He drove to the abandoned house and was shocked to find his son inside, talking to a woman he thought was long gone, his wife, whom he had thought was dead. As he listened to his son and wife talk, John realized that there was more to their story than he had ever imagined. And as he delved deeper into the mystery, he was forced to confront some hard truths about his own life and the choices he had made. John's mind was racing as he tried to process the revelation that his wife was still alive. He had thought she had died in a tragic accident years ago, and the news that she was actually alive and well was a shock to him. He approached the two of them cautiously, trying to understand what was going on. His wife and son seemed to have a close relationship, and he could see the love and affection between them. As he listened to their conversation, John began to piece together the story of what had happened. His wife had not died in an accident as he had thought, but had instead run away from their marriage and their life together. She had left him and their son behind and had been living in hiding ever since. John was devastated by this revelation. He had loved his wife deeply, and the thought that she had left him and their son behind was a painful one. But as he listened to her explain her reasons for leaving, he began to understand the pain and heartache she had been through. He realized that he had not been the husband or the father he should have been, and that he had contributed to the problems in their marriage. He was filled with regret and remorse for the mistakes he had made, and he knew that he had a lot of work to do to make things right. As John and his wife talked, he knew that he had a lot of healing and rebuilding to do, but he was determined to make things right and to do whatever it took to win back his wife's love and trust. He knew that it would be a long and difficult road, but he was willing to do whatever it took to make things right. John spent the next few weeks trying to repair his relationship with his wife and his son. He started by apologizing to his wife for all of the mistakes he had made in their marriage. He admitted that he had been selfish and had not always been the best husband or father. He told her how much he loved her and how sorry he was for hurting her. His wife was touched by his apology, and she could see the genuine remorse in his eyes. She knew that he was sincere in his efforts to make things right, and she was willing to give him a chance to show her that he had truly changed. Over the next few weeks, John worked hard to be the husband and father that his wife and son needed. He made an effort to be more present in their lives and to be more understanding and supportive of their needs. He also worked to build bridges with his son, who had been hurt and confused by his absence in their lives. He took him out for father-son bonding activities and made an effort to really listen to him and understand his needs and concerns. As John and his family worked to repair their relationships, they began to heal and grow closer. John realized that he had been given a second chance, and he was determined to make the most of it. He knew that it would be a long and difficult journey, but he was committed to doing whatever it took to make things right. Over the next few months, John and his family worked hard to rebuild their relationships and to heal from the past. It was a difficult and often challenging process, but they were determined to make it work. As they grew closer and learned to trust one another again, John realized that he had been given a second chance at happiness. He was grateful for the opportunity to make things right, and he was determined to make the most of it. He worked hard to be the husband and father that his wife and son needed, and he was determined to be there for them no matter what. He knew that he had a lot of work to do to make up for the mistakes he had made in the past, but he was willing to do whatever it took to make things right. As the years passed, John's family grew stronger and happier. He was grateful for the second chance he had been given, and he knew that he would always be thankful for the opportunity to make things right. And as he looked back on the day he had found his wife and son in the abandoned house, he knew that it had been a turning point in his life. It had taught him the importance of forgiveness and the value of second chances, and it had inspired him to be the best husband and father he could be. He knew that he had a lot to be thankful for, and he was grateful for the chance to make things right with the people he loved most.